Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to describe PTE Retell lecture, and I assure you if you watch this video till end and follow all the tips and tricks given in this video, you will be able to nail this task easily. So let's start with the tips and tricks to score well. The very first thing is to speak till the recording is played. Means don't submit your answer immediately. Keep on speaking till the recording is played. Only when the recording stops, submit your answer. Short answer will never provide you good score. Now let's talk about the keywords. Now, first of all, we should have knowledge regarding the type of words which can be the keywords. Only the nouns and phrasal verbs can be the keywords. No other part of speech can be the keyword. Now I have given you two lines in order to make you understand what keywords can be there in these two lines. Now, Jalandhar, facilities, district, people. These are the nouns. Nouns are the name of person, place, animal and thing. Now these are the keywords. Only these are the keywords over here. Jalandhar, district, facilities and people. And what about beautiful? Beautiful is an adjective. Adjective can also be the keyword, but it can be the keyword only when noun is also noted down by us along with it. Means beautiful district can be the keywords, but not only beautiful. Now let's talk about the phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs are a group of two or more words, and these phrasal verbs help us to speak fluently. Now, from two different examples, I am going to make you understand how to note down the group of words while listening to the lecture. For example, in a lecture, the speaker has mentioned this particular line. It has an impact on all major life groupings on the planet. Then we can note down an impact on all major life groupings on the planet, or an impact on all major life groupings, or all major life groupings. So we can pen down different groups of words depending on two factors. First, our writing speed, and number two, number of words we have listened clearly from the audio. Now while speaking, we can speak like this. The speaker has described an impact on all major life groupings on the planet, or the speaker has described an impact on all major life groupings, or the speaker has highlighted all major life groupings. So now you can understand how the fluency is affected by the group of words. Now let's talk about the second example. Meeting your promise is sign of integrity. Over here, sign of integrity is a phrase that can be used by us. Now next point is, if still the recording is going on and we are done with our keywords, we can repeat our keywords. Next, speak as clearly as you can. Each and every word of yours should be crystal clear. Next, speak naturally. Give pause of some seconds after the completion of each and every sentence. Next, don't change your pitch while speaking. Means don't change your volume. Speak in the same volume throughout the recording. Now I'm going to discuss the template. Dash was the main topic of the lecture. The lecturer or the speaker talked about dash, dash and dash. He spoke about dash, dash and dash. He also described the terms dash, dash and dash. Finally, he talked about dash and dash. To conclude, the lecture was very informative. The only thing that you have to be particular while using the template is not to give the pause in between the sentence while using the keywords. For example, the correct way of speaking is, the lecturer talked about water, carbon dioxide and oxygen. He spoke about industries, chemicals and fertilizers. And the incorrect way is, the lecturer talked about water, carbon dioxide and oxygen. He spoke about industries, chemicals and fertilizers. Now the final step to understand how to score well is to go through the provided sample answers.
An ant is pretty stupid. It doesn't have much of a brain, no will, no plan. And yet, many ants together are smart. An ant colony can construct complex structures. Some colonies keep farms of fungi, others take care of cattle. They can wage war or defend themselves. How is this possible? How can a bunch of stupid things do smart things together? This phenomenon is called emergence, and it's one of the most fascinating and mysterious features of our universe. In a nutshell, it describes small things forming bigger things that have different properties than the sum of their parts. Emergence is complexity arising from simplicity. And emergence is everywhere. Water has vastly different properties to the molecules that make it up, like the concept of wetness. Take wet fabric. If you zoom in far enough, there is no wetness. There are just molecules sitting in the spaces between the atoms of the cloth. Wetness is an emerging property of water, something new, only created by a lot of individual interactions between water molecules. And this is sort of it. Many things interact under a certain set of rules, creating something above and beyond themselves.
Emergence was the main topic of the lecture. The lecturer talked about an ant. He said that an ant has no brain, will, or plan. He talked about complex structures. He also talked about bunch of stupid things and bunch of smart things. He also talked about the most fascinating and mysterious feature of our universe. He compared between stupid and smart ants. He talked about the different properties. He also talked about wet fabric, water, wetness, atoms, molecules, and emerging property of water. He also talked about complexity arising from simplicity. He also talked about individual interactions between water molecules, the phenomena.
Carbon dioxide, or CO2, is the main greenhouse gas in climate change. So how does CO2 get into our atmosphere? Well, carbon is part of a cycle. It starts with the sun, which hits the Earth's surface with more energy in 1 hour than the whole world uses in a year. Plants, which are kind of like biological chefs, take that sunlight and then suck in some CO2 from the air, mix them together, and bam! They create a stored form of energy in the form of carbohydrates, such as glucose and sucrose. The process is called photosynthesis. When animals like us eat those plants, our stomachs convert that food back into energy for our own growth. Greenhouse gases are a byproduct of this process and are released through waste. If those plants die, they decompose, and tiny microorganisms break down those carbohydrates and again release greenhouse gases as a byproduct. As you see, energy originates from the sun and is then transferred as it moves through the food chain. But sometimes, carbon-based organisms, like plants or animals, get stuck in the earth. When this happens, they're compressed under tons of pressure and turned into carbon-based fossil fuels like oil, coal, or natural gas.
The speaker revealed that carbon dioxide is the main greenhouse gas in climate change. Then he talked about the sun, Earth's surface energy, plants, and biological stress. Next, he disclosed that plants take the sunlight, sucks in carbon dioxide from air, mix them together, and then form energy in the form of carbohydrates like glucose. So he described the whole process of photosynthesis in detail. Moreover, he talked about animals, food, and tiny microorganisms. He said that greenhouse gases are byproduct of this process. Next, he concluded that energy originates from the sun and moves to the food chain. Finally, he ended the lecture with fossil